Hello everybody, how you doing today? Today we're going to be doing another Bible study. Today it's going to be Revelation chapter 6. If you'd like me to come speak at your church, or if you have any questions, please email me at godsohman@gmail.com. So we're going to go Revelation chapter 6, starting in verse 1. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, Come and see. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given to him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. I always find it very interesting that it talks about him having a bow, but it never mentions arrows. This is going to be the Antichrist. He's going to come upon the earth, and it seems to me like he's going to do battle. But since he doesn't have arrows, he's going to do it with basically being charismatic. He's going to use a diplomatic method. He's going to talk to people. He's going to sign treaties. He's going to make people like him. So this guy's going to come in here, and he's going to basically do battle by doing treaties and diplomacy and things like that. And when he opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, Come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, so they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. And this is the red horse, symbolizing war. And what it's saying is that the Antichrist is going to show up and he's going to start making deals. And then the red horse is going to show up, and there's going to be wars. And if you guys have watched my end time videos, I mentioned that I think sometime in 2020 or 2021, which is going on right now, there's going to be this great war, quite possibly World War III. And after World War III happens, there's going to be some kind of a treaty that's going to let the Jews build their temple. And so it's saying here there's a red horse, there's going to be wars. Now, I don't know if there's going to be a bunch of small wars or one big war, but it says the red horse equals war. And when he opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And behold, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat upon him had a pair of balances in his hands. So this horse is called the black horse. This is basically famine. And it's going to say in the next verse what he does. And so he's going to have the balance in his hands. And they use balance to weigh food. You put a weight on one side, and you put food on the other side. So let's say it costs $1 to have a pound of certain types of food. You put a pound on one side, and you add that food to the other side till it equals 1 pound. And then that's what you charge. It says, And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts saying, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see not hurt the oil and the wine. So a measure is a type of weight. So imagine if it costs a penny for a measure of wheat, and in the Bible a penny is a day's wage. So a pound of flour might cost a day's wage. Let's say that's $50. So if a pound of flour costs $50, imagine how much bread's going to cost, or cake, or donuts, or things like lasagna or pasta. Imagine if that costs $50 to make, 30 of those. They're going to sit there and they're going to charge a whole lot of money for food here soon. And this is 3 measures of barley for a penny. So it's going to cost a whole lot of money for our produce and our food one of these days. And when I heard him open the fourth seal, and I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, Come and see. And looked, and behold, a pale horse. And his name that sat upon him was Death, and hell followed him. And power was given unto him over the 4 parts of the earth, to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. It's really interesting that they mention people are going to kill each other, the government's going to kill you, but so are the beasts. I don't want to go into great detail, but they're doing these things where they're putting aluminum in the sky, and it's supposed to help with global warming. Well, that aluminum's going to fall to Earth, and it's going to get into the plants, and the animals are going to eat these plants. And it seems to me like because of this, I don't exactly know if this is the reason why, but it seems like because of this, the animals are going to eat that, and it's going to mess with their brains, and they're going to go crazy. I mean, imagine going to your backyard and the rabbits attack you, and the squirrels attack you, and the dogs attack you, the possums and the raccoons attack you, the snakes are going to attack you. Imagine whenever you're outside, if there's an animal nearby, it's going to try to hurt you. Now, I don't know if maybe that's rabies, or something happens to their brains, or something happens in their instinct. In the book of Genesis, it talks about how after Noah got off the ark, God told Noah, the animals are now going to be afraid of you. Well, that means they weren't afraid of him before. So it's possible that something happens that way as well. But this pale horse is going to come, and there's going to be death. All these people are going to be dying, and they're going to die from people's hands, from the government's hands, from sickness, from famine, and also beasts are going to attack them as well. And when he opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God, and for the testimony they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood for them that dwell upon the earth? I mean, everybody's been looking at what's going on in the world right now, thinking, God, why are you letting these things happen? Why haven't you came down and judged the world? There's no reason for these things to be happening. And this is what's happening in heaven. They're saying, Lord, holy and true, how long is it going to take you to judge and avenge our blood? How long is it going to take you to basically say there's enough is enough? You need to come and you need to sit there and have judgment. And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. And I don't exactly know what this verse means, but it seems to me like God's telling them, just hang on, rest for a minute. As soon as the very final person gets saved, who's going to get saved, then I'm going to judge the earth. Then I'm going to come down. Then I'm going to do something. So as of this point, we've got the Antichrist showing up. We've got wars. We got famines. We got pestilence. And we have death. And the rapture hasn't happened yet. And behold, when I opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. So now it's saying that the sun and the moon's going to go dark. Well, if you watch my end time videos, that's going to make sense to you. Matthew 24, it says, immediately after the tribulation, that's the 7-year tribulation. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Remember, the sun and the moon go dark, and the stars should fall from heaven. And then shall the Son of Man appear in heaven, and he shall be with all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and he shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from the ends of the heavens to the other. There's the rapture right there. The sun and the moon goes dark, stars fall from heaven. After the tribulation, then the rapture happens. Revelation 6, verse 14, 13, something like that. I can't see because my thing's up there. And the stars of heaven fell from the earth. So we have the sun and the moon going dark, and there's now the stars of heaven fall from the earth. Even as the fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken from a mighty wind. And the heavens departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and the islands are moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondsman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth in the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? So we have you have the Antichrist showing up. You have war. You have pestilence. You have famine. You have death. The sun and the moon go dark. Stars fall from heaven. That's when the rapture happens. And then after the rapture is when the wrath happens. So after the rapture, you can have the tribulation, you're going to have the rapture, then the wrath happens. And a lot of people get this confused. They think that wrath and tribulation is the same thing, but it's very, very separate. And these people are saying they want the rocks to fall on them. They want the rocks to kill them because they don't want to deal with the wrath of God. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys watching my video. If you'd like me to come speak at your church, or if you have any questions, you can email me at godsohman@gmail.com. You can also comment on this video. You can also ask any questions you want. And I'll see you guys next time. I appreciate it. Have yourself a great day.